Number 2 on my list is a feature that you probably pay a lot of money for already with using another software, and I'm sorry. Hey man, PreSonus just updated Studio One to Studio One Pro 7, and it's got a laundry list of new features. But in this video, I'm gonna be counting down the features that I think are the best. Yeah, this is my top 7 Studio One Pro 7 features. What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Wavy Wayne from WavyProAudio.com. Now, I know some of y'all are surprised to see me so excited about a Studio One update, man, but let me tell you, it's very, very well worth it. Now, I'm gonna count down all of these features and I'm saving the absolute best for last. So make sure you stick around to the very end of this video, man, because the bonus is unbelievable. All right, so coming in at number 7 on my list is the all new integration for Impact inside the note editor. Some people were having problems working with Impact because the window is kind of large and it can't be resized. And if you're working on a laptop or a small computer screen, then this really gets in the way and you got to keep opening and closing it to edit your MIDI and edit your sequence and all of that stuff, right? PreSonus, they actually listened to the users, and what they've done is went on ahead and built this in. So now inside this edit here, I can actually use Impact as a built-in feature right inside my window. So I don't even need that. I'm gonna close that up and I'm gonna go and click on this little button right here that says pad control, and here goes the entire Impact. I got everything I need, and guess what? Now it's actually resizable and it'll scale to whatever size that I fit this window. I got all the controls that I need, and Impact, it just fits perfectly right here. All right, let me show y'all another dope feature of Impact. I'm gonna go ahead and put Impact right here. I'm gonna just drag and drop it right there. And then I'm just gonna find a loop, right? Let me just get a quick little loop going. All right, I actually like that loop right there. So I'm gonna actually take this, and instead of dragging and dropping this loop directly into my arrangement, I'm just gonna hold the shift key and drag and drop it right onto a pad. Now, when I do that, boom, you see a new MIDI clip has been created. And what Studio One and Impact are doing right now, they actually created this little staircase of this loop. And this is gonna allow me with MIDI notes, right? So this is an audio loop that I just took. And now I'm about to actually be able to edit it just like it was MIDI. So I'm just gonna grab my pencil, my little tool here, right? And you can see we got the different parts. I can come in and get rid of sections. I can even draw in new sections. I don't want it to be that fast though, my boy. All right, so Impact, using that tool, that shortcut right there, makes it super, super easy to actually edit up and remix loops so that you don't have to take them and use them like everybody else is using them. You can actually modify those loops however you want to. Number 6 on my list is another banger for all the music producers out there, and it is the all new updated Deep Flight 1. Now, Deep Flight 1 has a brand new look to it. It has all new sounds and is now included with Studio One Pro 7. Just like all of the other virtual instruments that PreSonus has made, they're all now included. No longer do you have to pay an extra fee to use Deep Flight 1 or any other PreSonus virtual instrument, which is really dope. Now, this joint is actually pretty powerful. It has some really dope sounds. Let's just see what it got. Some hybrid choirs. All right. Let's go. Let's see what else we got, man. Let's go with some chords. I can see how you can start to make some really cinematic sounds using this Deep Flight 1. I think that it's really dope that they've now included this with Studio One Pro 7, and you ain't got to pay nothing extra, man. Coming in at number 5 is a feature that's going to be beneficial to not only music producers, but also audio engineers and DJs and anybody who's working in music production. This is the advanced tempo detection feature. Now, if you've been watching my channel, then you know how important I think it is to have your tempo locked into the session. Studio One Pro 7 makes this super, super easy, man. Like, not only can I just right click one time and hit detect tempo, right? And it'll give me the tempo of the actual audio, but I can also right click and then go ahead and extract that tempo to the tempo track here in my session. We got the metronome. You can hear that it's following along. But look, what if I have a track that has multiple tempos in it, or if I'm doing a mashup with multiple songs and I need to change the tempo from one section to the next? Well, I can just add another section or even select a different section here and map out the tempo again, and this tempo map will continue to follow all along my session. So I'm just going to right click and then again hit extract the tempo map, and in just a few seconds, this new file also has been mapped out. So we got two different tempos happening in the session. And again, this would be really dope. Like if I had a sample that was all over the place as far as tempo, it wasn't recorded to a click, and so it's not locking up to my other loops and stuff I'm trying to use. Well, I could just simply right click on that, extract that tempo to the tempo track, and then boom, now it's going to lock up, and any other samples that I use in the session will automatically conform to that sample. That's dope. Coming in at number 4 is a feature that's gotten me really excited about music production all over again. That's the new integrated launcher. Now, this is going to make music creation and production and arrangement super, super easy, where you can just drag and drop different sequences and experiment with different arrangements in your session. Let me show you how this works. So, first off, before I even get into that, shout out to the arranger track, man. This is super dope. This allows me to just make really super easy arrangements throughout my song. Like if I wanted to copy this chorus, I could just hold down the option key, copy that arrangement from there, and boom, I just dragged and dropped the chorus just like that. It makes it super easy to arrange. Now this launcher allows you to get busy to another level. We're going to come right up here to this little button right here to open up the launcher, right? And all I got to do, let me just zoom out a little bit. I'm going to select the entire arrangement, and I'm going to drag and drop that right into a scene. Right into a scene right here. All right. So boom, now I got my whole song over here on the scene. Now the next thing I want to do is hit this little arrow, and this is just going to determine whether I'm playing from my edit sequence over here or if I'm playing from the launcher. I'm going to hit that, and now I'm playing from the launcher. And let's just turn that metronome off. I can go ahead and experiment with different sections. Right, I can play those different sections, and then I can just experiment with getting rid of different stuff, right? Or moving different parts around as I need to. Right, without messing up the original arrangement, which I think is really dope. And when I find an arrangement that I like, I can say, you know what, I kind of like the way that this drops out right here in this section, right? Or whatever, right? I can just say I like that. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit add scene from playing cells, right? And then here we go. Now here's my new scene, scene 4. And I can drag and drop that scene that I just created back over here, and then just hit that arrow again. I can close that launcher, and now I just created a whole new little section. Number 3 on my list is where things really start to get gritty. And this is really like, I'm talking about for all the mix engineers, all the recording engineers. Like, I know my wife is really going to appreciate this feature, because oftentimes we'll be in a session where she's writing and she like, yo, I want to transpose this up or down. Normally it's down because you don't want to sing so high, right? She went like, yo, go ahead and transpose that down. And that can be sometimes hard if we're working in a session that got MIDI, it's got audio, it's got loops and samples and all this stuff. Now to transpose everything, I'm like, all right, give me a minute, go take a little break and come back and we'll get it done. No longer, right? This can all be done super, super easily with the new global transpose feature in Studio One Pro 7. Let me show you how this works, man. So you can see I'm already actually transposed down by -3. I'm gonna go ahead and hit 0. We're gonna get that back. But look, That's as simple as it is. All you got to do is come down here to that transpose button right there. And whatever you put in here, if I put 4, then boom, we just transpose up. Right? I can say, you know what? Let's go -2. You know what? Let's go down. Let's go to -4. And what you will notice is that my drums aren't changing. And it's really simple. If I just want to make sure whatever follows the transposition is in the inspector here, there is a little button that says follow global transpose. If you select a track and like your drum tracks, you want to just make sure that that's not checked on those drum tracks so that that doesn't follow the global transpose. But all the other tracks, you can actually select them all at the same time. You don't have to go one by one selecting them. You can select them all at the same time, hit that check box, and then they will all have the checkbox turned on except any of them that you didn't have selected. And then you can actually just transpose. Let's go to, let's see what a +6 sound like. Right? But you can really get crazy with that. I like that -4. Now, I know you probably saying to yourself, hey, Wavy, if that's number 3, what could 2 and 1 possibly be? How could it get any better? Let me show you something. So number 2 on my list is a feature that you probably paid a lot of money for already with using another software. And I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry. The Studio One Pro 7 is just trying to crush everybody with all of these features, man. This feature allows you to take any track, right? A stereo track, a mix track, and then actually extract the stems from it, man. This is AI powered stem separation, and no, it's not a third party. It is built directly into the new Studio One Pro 7 and is mad easy to work on. Now, a reason you might want to do this is maybe you're a DJ and you want to bring the vocals out so that you can put them vocals on a whole nother beat and do a mashup or something like that. Or maybe you're a mixing engineer and you just want to add a little more pump to the drums, but you don't have the full track outs or the stems for that session, so you can't manipulate it how you want to. Let me show you how easy it is to separate stems from a song. Now let's just hear a little bit piece of this song, man. Shout out to my wife Lydia Caesar. This song is actually up for consideration to be nominated for a Grammy. So if you are a Grammy voting member, this is gonna help me out. It's gonna help her out. It's gonna help the channel out because I actually mixed this joint.
Oh, picnics in a park. It don't matter where we are. You're the one that I prayed for.
All you got to do is right click on any audio track and go down to separate stems. When the little separate stems dialog box comes up, you got the choice between vocals, drums, bass, and anything else. Hit OK. The AI gonna do its magic, and it's just gonna take a couple of seconds. It ain't gonna take long at all, but it's gonna analyze the whole song and give you the best possible outcome for separating the drums, the melodic content, the bass, and the vocals. And boom, just like that, my stems have been separated. I got a brand new folder that contains all of my stems. Let's just go ahead and hear some of this stuff, man. Let's hear what they did with the other stuff. That's my piano. Let's hear them drums. Let's hear that bass, actually. That bass is pretty good. I like that bass. Now let's hear the, what's this? This is the drums. All right, let's hear this all together. Let's just hear my instrumental. So I'm just soloing all the instruments. Now that's an instrumental, man. The vocals is going up out of there, and if I put the vocals back in, it sounds like the mix. All right, and then I can even do some stuff like go and add some effects, like add a little reverb. I just put a little reverb on that vocal. No matter where we are, you're the
You're the one I adore.
And this the vocal that it just pulled out of that whole mix. That's crazy, man. The AI-powered stem separation in Studio One Pro 7 is next level. Having that built in, you don't have to pay any extra fees or nothing like that. That's a game changer. All right, so I know that your mind is blown, man. I just showed y'all so many game changer features in the brand new Studio One Pro 7, but I ain't done yet. And don't forget that even though we're at #1 already, there's a bonus that I think is the absolute best. Stick around to that bonus, man. Now listen, I'm gonna just lay it to you flat, man. Splice is inside of Studio One now. You don't got to use any other separate application. You don't got to go to your browser to find these samples. Yeah, the world's largest library of samples is now integrated into Studio One, man. So look, this is how we gonna get to it. I'm gonna just go over to my browser. I'm gonna go to Splice and I open up my Splice browser. Now, once you sign in, and let's just go. Once you sign in, yes, you can access all kind of stuff, right? We got the kicks. You can search for stuff. If I want to search for a kick, got a bunch of kicks. All right, I can drag and drop these directly into my session, just like I always have. Any Splice, except now, is right here inside of Studio One, right? So it just downloads it right away, and I got these samples, right? But look, it gets even better than that. It gets better, right? Let's say I'm already working on the project like I am right now. Instead of trying to find a sample or find a loop or something that works with this beat that I got, here's where Splice is going to come in handy. I'm going to go to the homepage on Splice, and down here at the bottom right, you see where it says search with sound, right? That search with sound, this is what's going to change everything. This is what's going to change everything, because literally we're going to use AI to analyze the audio that I already got in my session here to find me new samples to put in here, man. So it's going to help me to make this. This is like having a producer partner that makes some really great recommendations, man, except you ain't got to give them no credit and you ain't got to give them no royalties. Bet. So look, I can take a piece of this. So I could just take my bass line and drop it over here. It's going to process for a second and then give me some recommendations. All right, and then that should. Right, and it's automatically in tempo, it's automatically in key, it's automatically with the genre, with the feeling. If I can go with any other, feelings that I want to, let's just. That's kind of dope, actually. So let me just go ahead and drop that in there. I'm going to bring that right about there. All right. And I got that. Right. And then look, peep game. I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to just select the whole song. And then I'm going to drag it back into Splice. All right. So you know what? Just take everything. So not only can you just take one element, you can take everything in your whole session and drop it into Splice. If I was a singer, I would just sing a melody or sing the hook. You know how you just come up with words? Sometimes you can sing it, record that, drag and drop that into Splice, and Splice is going to recommend samples to start making your beat. Rewind that if you ain't hear what I said. Not only is Splice now built into Studio One Pro 7, but even if you don't have a Splice account, you're still going to have thousands of sounds available to you for free just by getting this upgraded Studio One Pro 7. All right, now here goes my bonus feature. And honestly, this is like feature 0 because this is better than #1. This is above #1. And I think that honestly, Studio One has done something to move the music production game forward for everyone. They're helping to make this stuff accessible with one single move. And what they did was they actually got rid of all of the other versions of Studio One. So like the no artist versions, no stripped down versions, none of that. There's only one version of Studio One going forward, and that's Studio One Pro 7. And it's gonna have all the features that I just showed you, plus some more. Like I said, there's a whole laundry list of features that I couldn't even get to right now. They're all gonna be included, man. And the biggest thing is that the price is even going down. The perpetual license for all these features is only $199. The perpetual license for all these features is $199, man. Yes, that's the best feature, I think. No stripped down versions. It's $199 for the perpetual. Yes, they got the Studio One Pro Plus plan that you can get, all of that stuff. You can check that out. I'll leave descriptions to that. I'll leave details for that down in the description. But if you don't do any of that and you just get that perpetual, you winning, man. Look, I know you say, Wavy, I'm surprised you so excited about this Studio One, but man, is it not worth being excited about? I'm Wavy Wayne from WavyProAudio.com. You can check out my website to download Studio One Pro 7 right now. Be dope.